When a school introduces a system like Clickedu, there are some elements that obviously improve. One of them is the communication between all the statements that form the school. You've got the administration, you've got the teachers. The communication between them is fast, it's easy, and it's instantly. Then the integration between all these statements also improves introducing Clickedu.
Clickart has a product like Clickedu by a chance. Why this? Because we worked by web development projects, and one moment a school comes to us because they have a project. So we had the study, and we saw that the size of the project was impossible for only one customer. So only one customer cannot keep the price of this project. So we decided to create a product, and we think that we were lucky because we didn't do any prospect on the market. We only asked for 3 or 4 schools if they were interested in our project. They say yes. So we worked hard, and today we have about 350 schools in Spain and Andorra, and about 700,000 people, active users, working in Clickedu.
Using technology in class opens the world to the rest of the world. Lately, we have been using tablets in class, we have been using computers, we have been using projectors, and this helps the children to know what is happening outside the school. The world gets into the class and we can work with it. We can work with real cases, with real news, with real information, and instantly. We've got any question, we can solve it in the moment. We can Google it, we can look for it. We need to watch a video, we can do it instantly. Okay, so the communication between the rest of the world and the class is constantly, it's frequent, and it's very easy for them.
And Clickedu in the class, I think that it's like connecting people. It's connecting with the other schools. You can be in the class and you can connect it with other classes. And because the teachers, we are sharing different works or different files, and we exchange all these things, and then you can share with the pupils. And I think that all these things, they are a good thing.
The processes that have been improved when introducing this tool, when introducing Clickedu, for a teacher are very obvious. When you give homework for the children, you don't have to trust them that they write it in their agendas. They also write it there, but as a teacher you write it in Clickedu. This way parents know instantly, every day, what the children have to do for homework. When you start the day, you take attendance, so when there's a child that hasn't come to school, then they send an SMS to the parents. Your children hasn't come, what is happening, so they can phone us and tell us what is wrong with him.
The elements that we have in the school right now is that the teachers, we explain, we teach in the class, we have the same things. The only thing is that now, with the Clickedu, we have the call, the register, we have the assessment, we have the schedules, and we have all this stuff there. And it's fast and it's quick.
As a teacher, it has been an improvement for me and for my mates, because we have all the programs of all the years. What you do in the class, the real things you do, you can take notes and then compare in 1 or 2 years in the future whether it was good or bad, all the reflections and at the moment.
Diversity between students can be improved by using Clickedu. We can communicate better between teachers. Instead of looking for an hour for a time to meet and talk about the children, we can communicate through this tool. This makes the work faster, easier, and the child obviously receives this improvement. The work with him is better, is faster, and he improves his level.
For me, the Clickedu is the best thing to share with other teachers. I'm a teacher and I can share with others, and you can exchange files, you can put files in Clickedu.
We all feel together because we share all the information with the other teachers, with the headmaster and the deputy head, with the secretaries, with parents. You're not alone, it's just the opposite. And there is this sense of teamwork with one objective, which is the children, the kids, and their learning as well.
Clickedu technology is a solution 100% cloud. If I said this about 5 years ago, all the people were saying what was that, but nowadays it's so habitual. So technology, Clickedu, it's a cloud computing platform with about 30 virtual servers working on it, and it's based for MySQL platform. So we need some physical servers to give more power to the database cluster. This system includes Apache servers, Memcache system, load balancers, SSL encryption, digital signature, anti-DDoS systems, etc. It's programmed by PHP, MySQL, and jQuery. Besides, we introduced native apps for Android and iOS.
One of the main improvements for the school when introducing Clickedu is the fact that you don't have to repeat the same work several times. All this routine, all this repetition is saved. You introduce once all the data inside the system, and then you can use it several times. So the human mistakes are reduced when using Clickedu.
The school needs a very low solution to implement Clickedu talking about technology. The school only needs internet connection and a more or less modern browser. Firefox, Chrome, Safari, Explorer. It's not important operating system, and also can work in tablets and smartphones.
If you ask me if Clickedu helps us to save money, well, I think the answer would be no directly. But it saves us a lot of time, and it saves us a lot of efforts that we can then dedicate to our great mission, which is educating kids. We also save a lot of paper, because instead of writing notices and writing notes in the agenda and writing messages for everyone, we do it through the internet. This saves a lot of paper, a lot of time, a lot of effort.
The school service department of Clickedu, I must say, is one of the things we are most proud of, because we developed the manual in here, which is one of the most important pieces to understand and develop Clickedu in school, and also because it's the responsible of the translation, I would say, from the necessities the school give us and let us know towards our programmers who translate them in new functionalities of Clickedu.
The three things I like the most about Clickedu are the support that they always give us. When we've got any problem with this tool, with the system, they always answer us in the same moment. We can phone them and the response is fast. We also like the way they innovate. They also want to improve the system every day. If we think it would be useful for us to install something different, to change something, they always listen to what we ask them, and they try to improve it day by day. And also the communication between the different statements, it's very fast. When it's something, we send a message to the administration, or we send a message to maintenance, we send a message to parents, to children, and we receive a response, a fast response.
The development department of Clickedu consists of nowadays 30 people, 30 expertized programmers that keep on developing the tool, the Clickedu, according to the necessities of the school, changing necessities, I must say. I mean, because of social realities, because of the law, because of changes in administration, Clickedu is in constant adaptation to all those new facts the school faces.
I think that the families, it's great to connecting with the school at any time. And now they have iPads, they have WhatsApp, they have the smartphones.
When families have to choose between one school or another, maybe knowing that we use Clickedu is not a reason for them to choose our school. But it's obvious that 1 week, 2 weeks later, when the course has started, and we ask them, what things do you like the most of our school? Clickedu is one of them, because they have tried it, they now know how to use it, they know now all the benefits that they can have, and they realize it's a great tool that other schools, that the schools they come from maybe didn't have. And this improves the way they work with us, the way we work with their kids, and the way all of us three, family, students and teachers, communicate.
If you come, for instance, you have a problem and you want to talk to me and the tutor is not here and you need information about your son or daughter, just with a click, I can have all the information about him or her, marks, attitude, or behavior, or punishments, or whatever, or I don't know, congratulations of the teachers, everything.
For the parents to have the information right now in 1 second, I think that it's so important. They have their cell phones, the smartphones, and the email, and they have all the information in 1 second. And I think that now it's so important.
Telling the parents what their kids are doing in the same moment every day improves their feeling, their confidence with us. They trust us, they know what their kids are doing, and they feel free to relax and to communicate better with them. There's some kids that when they get home they don't explain nothing about their day, and when the family already knows what has happened in our school, if they've done one activity or another, if they've done the homework or not, then the communication between family and kids is better. And they trust us, they feel more calm. If a kid has separate families, which is very common these days, we can provide both families with the same information at the same time. So there is no option for a discussion between families if you have to tell one before the other one. Both of them get the same information at the same time with different passwords, with different usernames. And this makes all the process more relaxed and more comfortable for everyone.
Schools that start with Clickedu, I think they immediately see a better way to do things. I mean, things they do are always the same, but they do them in a different way. So Clickedu, in a sense, puts order into the things they were doing. So the goodness of those changes are so outstanding that they immediately perceive that it's the effort is worth it. Teachers, personnel, secretaries, families and students as well immediately see that the use of Clickedu, the use of that new tool benefits its work, and of course it's always seen as improvement in the school.
Why do schools need Clickedu? Because it's fast, it's easy to use, and it improves your life, your everyday life. All this repetitive works, all this introducing data, all this bureaucracy disappears, or at least it's been reduced. Then you can dedicate to your main task, which is teaching kids. It's our main task, and this is what we want to do. And Clickedu always helps us with this.